Exodus 23 verse 23. My angel will go ahead of you and bring you into the land of the Amorites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Canaanites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. So a few days ago, we looked at the Amorites. The Israelites were going into the promised land, but they had to pass through the land of the Amorites. We saw that the Amorites were desert people, and what stood out about them was that they stood in the way of God's people, God's purposes, and God's promises. The Amorites were a small tribe, but the Hittites, the next ite that's mentioned, were a major civilization based in modern Turkey. Israel was based on the very outskirts of the Hittite area of influence. The Hittites were great traders and are credited with the invention of money, for example, coins, as opposed to barter or weighing out gold and silver. People lived in fear of them because they were the first to produce iron, which they used for their weapons, and that gave them a great advantage. In Genesis 23 it says the Hittites are the resident population of Hebron, among whom Abraham lived as a stranger. Esau grieved his parents by marrying two Hittite women of the land. The last reference of the Hittites of Canaan is in Solomon's reign. Thereafter, they were merged into the general population of the land. So, what does that mean for us? Well, conquering the Hittites is conquering fear. Conquering the Amorites was one thing, but to attack the Hittites carried the risk of bringing down the wrath of the Hittite Empire. We cannot live in fear. We've got to learn to trust God. Or do we bring fear to others? When we try to control and manipulate other people through fear, we are being a Hittite. The Hittites were less superstitious than some of the other ites, but a lot more materialistic. When you go after the things of this world, you are a Hittite. If you are living in fear, you are a Hittite. Today, give your fear to God and put your trust in Him. Don't be a Hittite.